This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Yes, we did. That was included. That was included in the document.
But this is the part that I was going to ask him, because he went off of it like this is what goes on in the league. How do you know Belichick was not just going off reports on Pro Football Talk and other places that everybody pretty much was saying he was going to the Giants because they had the Bills GM went there. That's why the GM from the guy from the Bills went there to become the GM. That was
I think what he was addressing was these are the back channel conversations and discussions that often happen with African Americans being excluded and hiring being done with us still participating in sham interviews. And he's accurate. Those now in
this case,
yes,
is that accurate?
Listen, in this case, me and you both knew that Brian Daboll took that job before Flores was even interviewing for second round. So let's not pretend like this is like, or maybe no. Brian Daboll took that job before.
And I'm sorry. What is wrong with that? I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with that.
Yeah, my sound is horrible.
If you own the team and you think and you have the GM and a coach that work together in one place the last couple of years where they help turn around a program, it behooves you not to bring both of those together.
I think I'm out, bro.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me?
We'll talk. Yeah, but it's broken up a little bit. It's already it's crackling.
All right, bro.
All right, go later. All right, that's Omar Kelly in our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. I love Omar, but that interview, there were so many things to follow up on in that interview with that guy. And there were so many things to ask. And whether the people at I Am Athlete just did a crap job of editing, I have no idea. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's some of the stuff that they left off, but either the interviewers did not do a good enough job listen, maybe it's also, I think, a little bit of Omar deferring to Brandon and to Chad. See, the problem is if I was there, I would have not deferred anything to Brandon Marshall or Chad John. I'll give you an example. When I left QAM and I went to 640, and I was at 640 for 4 years, QAM begged me 3 times to come back. All right? The third time, I finally went back. But the first 2 times, I think the first time they approached me, they didn't like Kevin Kiley, I think, was the guy that was with Michael Irvin, right? So they called me and they asked me, hey, would you be willing to come back, but to be the co-host with Michael Irvin? So I told this gentleman, I said, so you want me to co-host with somebody that knows a fraction of sports that I do? Like, I take Michael Irvin out of football and he knows nothing. He's useless. He's a turd in a punch bowl. Useless. Like most athletes, you take them out of their sport, they are a turd in a punch bowl. Useless. And let me tell you something. Be careful about them talking about their own sport, because they don't know the history either of that. So they'll have no depth. They'll have no perspective. They'll have nothing. They'll know their existence. 20, 25-year window, whatever it is, they may know that. Maybe, if you're lucky. So I told the guy, so I'm supposed to carry this guy? Because that's what I told him. I go, yeah, I know he's the name and all that, but all he does is preach. He's great for an interview. You're calling me because you know he sucks on the air, I told him. That's what I told him. I go, that's why you called me, because Michael Irvin can't do a radio show. Nobody can listen to Michael Irvin for 2 hours. Let's be honest. It's my favorite football player of all time, but I will compartmentalize. what the football player is, what the Homer analyst I see on NFL Network embarrassing himself every year about the Cowboys because he's a stinking cheerleader that has no objectivity. And what, am I going to side with that guy? No. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be Michael Irvin's sidekick. Are you kidding? In this business? In this business, sports talk show, Michael Irvin can't do this. He's my sidekick, if anything. I can use him to play off him for football and all that. Outside of that, shut the hell up and get in your corner and leave me alone. Because we're talking about the Heat. You don't know shit about that. We're talking about the NBA. You don't know shit about that, Michael Irvin. We're talking hockey. You don't know shit about that. We're talking baseball. You don't know shit about that. Get out of here. You're useless. Only an idiot salesman would hire Michael Irvin to do a talk show. But that was the problem with QAM. They hired an idiot salesman that thought he could be a pro. That's the one thing I've learned over the years. Salespeople also, they belong nowhere near programming because they don't know jack shit because they're also just fans. I mean, I don't know how many salespeople I would have to talk sports with and then constantly just put them in their place because they don't know jack. Constantly. They think they know, but they don't. So it's hard to defer to somebody, right, that you know is not good enough next to you. And that, to me, that's what this case reminded me of, the same stuff. It reminds me of all of that. There's no way I could sit there and defer in an interview process to Brandon Marshall and to Chad Johnson. Two guys that don't belong there doing that job. They were two cheerleaders. It was an embarrassment watching I Am Athlete. It's almost as embarrassing as Brandon Marshall getting stabbed by his girlfriend. Or maybe it's almost as embarrassing as Brandon Marshall too drunk to find his home, but he has the taxi driver drive him to an airport. That's how embarrassing it is. So it's hard for me to be in that setting and to defer to people that I know. You know, I'm not sitting there with Hank Goldberg, bro. I'm not sitting there with Aaron Wilson. I'm not sitting there with people that I respect that, okay, I can wait for my turn. Sitting there with two athletes that are, they got pom-poms and skirts on the entire time. It's like telling me, oh, that's the other thing. Please stop already with this whole thing. Oh, well, he won 10 games. And bro, Dave Wannstedt won 11 games twice. What, am I supposed to start bragging about Dave Wannstedt? Give me a break already. Please don't brag to me about any coach ever that's been with the Miami Dolphins outside of Don Shula. Please don't ever brag to me about any of these coaches. I told you this yesterday, and then when Omar said it again, well, he won this. He's 24-20. Kiss my ass with all of that. Okay? Adam Gase won 10 games. Doesn't make him a good coach. Sperano, Mr. Field Goal, rest in peace, won 11 games. Doesn't make him a good coach. Wannstedt won 11 games twice and 10. Doesn't make him a good coach. Okay? Please, enough already. We've never had a good coach after Don Shula. Let's just say it. Let's just call it like we see it, please. All right? Every coach after Don Shula has been a failure and an embarrassment to the franchise, including Jimmy Johnson, who gets this hall pass of all hall passes down here. All right? Underachieved with the Canes, didn't do nothing with the Dolphins. His legacy is in Dallas. Have fun. Knock yourself out. As far as I'm concerned here, dude, you underachieved in South Florida. Losing that Fiesta Bowl game, done for me, bro. Because a nursery person would have said, oh, I'm just handing off the ball to Alonzo Highsmith and I'll win by 35 points. So enough with all these coaches. None of them after Don Shula are worth a damn. Let's hope Mike McDaniel is the first guy to actually do something great here for once. Perfect Q says, as time has gone by, it becomes obvious why the Dolphins fired Flores. Bro, I'm telling you, at 1-7, they said it's over. The lazy people say he won 10 games. The smart people say he went 1-7. And because he was ill prepared for the season, and when they played their best teams, because they played the worst teams in the second half of the schedule. That's what people keep forgetting. When times were tough, and that's what that front office saw. Well, you didn't want to keep Eric Flowers, now you're out of the playoffs. You didn't want to keep Kyle Van Noy, now you're out of the playoffs. You didn't want to keep the safety, now you're out of the playoffs. Right? So you didn't want to keep guys that could have helped you get into the playoffs. You want to keep playing Brissett, now you're out of the playoffs. You know, all these stupid-ass decisions. You want to keep putting Jalen Phillips in coverage, now you're out of the playoffs. You want to play, the linebacker Baker at middle linebacker so he could get just lost in the trash, now you're not in the playoffs. That's what the front office said. And that's why people don't wake the hell up here. I don't get it what's wrong with some of you out there. I'm not telling you that they were going to make any kind of impact in the playoffs. But they were a playoff team. And the reason why Flo was fired is because he's the reason why they didn't make the playoff team. That's why when my man Omar was like, tell me, he was a good coach. I'm like, get the hell out of here, bro. He's not smart. And I reeled off 10 stupid ass decisions on his, and I can think of more if you want me to really go into it. That's what they saw. Enough's enough. You can't have somebody fighting you. And that was my point. That if the front office is tanking and then you're not, what the hell is that? What is wrong with you, dude? I'm not telling you it's right, but it's like you were just hired. Go along with it then. And then you fight them on everything. And that's why they have to trade Minka, because you're fighting them. It's like they lose Chan Gailey. Why? Because you got to tell Chan Gailey, no, play Tua anyway. I don't care what you say. We're playing Tua. Okay. I swear to you, the Jim Caldwell thing, I'm starting to think that it was flow and health. Like he had the health issue and said, you know what? I got a taste of this guy. Yeah, I'm not going back to that guy. Yeah, no, it's health, guys. I can't come back. Sorry. You can scratch the contract. Don't worry about it. We're done.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.